So down the bowl with me is Paul Jones. Football Club Isle of Man is what we're talking about today. FC IOM, I think, is what you're kind of going on to.
Yeah.
It sounds very exciting news. It sounds like this should have been happening years ago, but let's still put out that one. You know, the Isle of Man taking on bigger representations in the UK.
Yeah. So it's you're right. It could have maybe happened a little while ago when there was a bit of momentum behind it, but no one took up the mantle. So there's a group of us now that have kind of taken up that mantle, and we want to provide opportunities for Manx residents to have opportunities in football, as players, as coaches, as administrators, as media professionals, whatever it might be, with a plan to take a team into the English League system, which would start at step 6, but the plan is to have a League 2 football club on the Isle of Man within 10 to 15 years.
Now you must have looked at Jersey, because they have been doing this, haven't they?
Yeah, so Jersey started their first season last week, and they've won their first 2 games. I think they won 3-0 or 4-0 and then 6-0 on Wednesday night, so they've made a really good start. And Guernsey have been doing it this is their 9th season now, so they've proved there's a model there, you know, with a smaller community than us, and that it's sustainable. We've spoken to them, we've spoken to Jersey, and hopefully we can tweak what they've done a little bit so we get an even better outcome for the Isle of Man.
Where's the cost come from, though? Yeah, the money from it, because obviously you've got to travel, people got to travel in. How's it work?
Yeah. Well, it's a good point, and it's partly why we've gone public now, really, to understand the appetite really from the Manx community, whether they're would be happy to get behind it, whether that hopefully would be as a member of the club. You know, if we have 10,000 people paying £20 and an annual subscription, then that's the budget sorted, isn't it? So are there 10,000 people out there who would be willing to put some money into it? Are the sponsors interested in having exposure in the Northwest and the UK? You know, we've been mentioned on TalkSport already today. We've had lots of press. I did an interview with the non-league paper, which is a UK-wide publication, which will go to press. So within 48 hours we've had a big hit and big splash in the UK, and do people wish to be associated with that? And then can we promote the Isle of Man and showcase all the amazing things about the island beyond football is one of the big aims of the project.
Oh, go on, tell me more about that. How are you going to do that?
Well, being in the league will help, won't it? So people will hear about the Isle of Man. The name FC Isle of Man is purely to make sure the Isle of Man is in there somewhere, so everybody knows where we're from. We would like to hopefully partner with local businesses so we can showcase what they're doing. We'd like to make the games an event so we can showcase whether it's local food merchants. You know, we have some amazing festivals, don't we, on the Isle of Man, and they last for a day or 2 days. We see this as an opportunity to every 10 days or every 2 weeks have a festival, have an event on the Isle of Man with a football game and everything else that surrounds it. And we want to really make it an event for the Manx community, so people from all sections can come and have a get together. You know, be part of something that's a little bit bigger than themselves, and hopefully that adds a lot of value to Manx way of life.
Now, Paul, tell me about the state at the moment, because I hear that some teams are struggling to field full teams a minute, and you're going to want to take these people away once a week. This sounds like it could be logistically a bit of a nightmare. Yeah,
so there's lots of challenges, shall we say, that need to be really, you know, well thought through, and we've been thinking about it now for a long time. We've started formal conversations with the Isle of Man FA, although we've been talking to them really since the start of the year. So hopefully the member clubs are supportive of the concept, and once we gain their support to affiliate to the Isle of Man FA, we can start having serious conversations about how logistically it might work. There's a lot, I think, well, we did a little bit of looking back, and we've had 50 players leave the Isle of Man in the last 20 years to play football, whether that's at Myerscough College, whether that's in America or into the professional game. And not all of those 50 players have come back, and not all of them are still playing football. And they've gone because they don't think that the Isle of Man local leagues meets their aspirations. If we're able to meet the aspirations of the players and help them to play at a level they're capable of, then we shouldn't have 50 players leaving these shores over a 20-year period. We might have more players staying in the game over a 5-year period, and 16, 17, 18-year-olds who decide to do other things decide not to do those other things. We might have 10, 11, 12-year-olds who are going down the rugby route, who are going down the cycling route, who are doing other things where they can see there's an inspiration trail, to coin Mike Doyle's phrase, is maybe we keep them in football a little bit more, but it's not. We've got a precious resource on the Isle of Man, and it's its people, and it's not fighting between sports and fighting between clubs for the people. It's about providing an opportunity for those that want to commit to it, those that are capable to do it, to bridge the gap between the professional sporting world and what's available on the Isle of Man.
But you mentioned the FC, and other people have tried, Ellen Bannon, I'm thinking about, all that sort of thing, have tried this outside of it. Surely FC should be running this thing.
No. I think that's an important point, really.
They've got the money, haven't they?
No, they haven't.
Well, no, I mean, does it all trickle down from the Premier League?
No, I'm afraid
you get lots of money.
That's an absolute fallacy,
okay.
And it's a good point to bring up, really.
Yeah.
It's not the responsibility of the Isle of Man FA to investigate this. Regardless of what people may think, their job is to ensure there's a well-functioning football community and opportunities on the Isle of Man. They've been extremely supportive now that we've come as a group of people with a good business plan, with a way of working that's really trying to engage with them and to be part of what they do rather than add to what they do, because there's some awesome stuff that happens on the Isle of Man in football. So we want to showcase that, but we don't want to be outside the system. And I think Ellen Bannon and the Canifa things, having spoken to Malcolm, we're a little bit outside the system, and we don't want to be outside it. We want to be an integral part of it.
So you won't be paying players to go away to play, will you? I think.
Well, we're going to have to fund travel for us and travel for everybody else. The players won't have to fund that themselves. That's not the business model we're looking at. As we rise through the system, then we would hope that it will be a professional football team. So the players will play, will get paid, and they will be full-time players. Now, that National League, which is the league below League 2, most of the teams in that league are professional teams. That would be 5-6 promotions. So depending on how quickly we rise will depend on how quickly
we're going to go up every year, right? I mean, surely that's it. That's the plan.
That's the plan.
And when is this actually going to really get underway?
So we're looking to affiliate to the Isle of Man FA so we can take a place in the North West Counties League from next season. So 2020, 2021. There's lots of challenges, and you've identified a few to talk through and to figure out. The North West Counties League have been really supportive. They're open to applying on our behalf. The English FA have been really supportive. So, and
50% of the time people will come here, or will it all be you going over there?
No. We'll have 19 home games, 19 away games, plus cup competitions.
And what's desperately needed is more people to watch. I'm just thinking some of the big finals here, and I see some of the shots, and there's very few people turning out.
Yeah, and
just promotion-wise, or people that know about it, or just not interested?
I don't know, and I hope it's not due to a lack of interest. Otherwise, we don't have a business model, and this isn't going to happen. Guernsey were having average gates of around about 1,400 people a week for the first 3 years, and they're still looking at 900 to 1,000 people a week 9 years later. Jersey, when they started last week, their first home game, they'd had nearly 1,000 people there. So we kind of need that level of support, and my little challenge to the Isle of Man public is, can we do better than Jersey and Guernsey?
Promotion, I think, is the name of the game.
Huge, yeah, and people might be sick of seeing my face already, but hopefully the more we get out there, the more we speak to people. Other members of the working group will be out talking to people. We're planning to have a town hall meeting in each of the regions, and we think we've got the first one organised for the 7th of September. So we're trying to share as much information as we can ahead of a vote in October by the Isle of Man FA.
Is it the Facebook group to go to, or website? What?
Yeah, so we've got a Facebook group. We've got the FC Isle of Man Facebook group. We've got a Twitter account with the same handle, FC Isle of Man. We've got a website which has a holding page at the moment, so that's fcisleofman.im, and info@fcisleofman.im if people want to get hold of us and inquire about any opportunities.
Well, I look forward. I always keep saying this thing like following the journe, but this really could be an exciting journey.
Massively, yeah. We're looking forward to seeing where it takes us. The next 10 weeks are critical. If we're unable to gain affiliation via a member club vote at the Isle of Man FA, then we can't take it forward. So we really would like people, if they think it's a good idea, regardless of whether they're football fans or not, if they think it's a good idea to have the Isle of Man represented and showcased on a week-to-week basis in England, and they think that might help our community in some way, then this is a way for us to do it. So we'd love for them to sign or signal their intent and signal their desire for it to happen, and hopefully that means that the member clubs are happy that they're working with the Manx population rather than against them.